Hey guys, so I am here today in my best black hoodie in honor of David Dobrik and potentially the internet's worst apology ever. I mean, can you call it an apology? I want to start this video off by saying, fuck you, David Dobrik. That shit was awful. It was a slap in the face to every victim, and we're going to talk about it today because I cannot believe what I watched. I watched it like 3 times because it's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and every time I get angrier and angrier. So before I get into this video, subscribe to my channel up every Tuesday and Thursday. And I just realized I think my space buns are crooked. Shit happens. If you don't know what's going on, I do have a video on my channel about the sex situation. I was very disappointed with like the entire internet and how that was kind of not covered. Since that, the other day an article came out from Insider. Kat, I can't remember her last name, did an article outlining a woman who was RAPE'd at David Dobrik's house. Kind of Sparks Notes version is that Dom, who used to be a member of the Vlog Squad, posted on his story that he wanted to have a 5-some that night. Some girl messaged him, said, I have friends, and apparently 7 of them went over. David Dobrik allegedly instructed the Vlog Squad members to buy alcohol for these women who were not of legal drinking age, to loosen them up. In the video, he literally says, it was pretty clear a 5-some's not going to happen tonight, but after some negotiations, Dom's still getting laid. Okay, if you have to negotiate yourself into sex, it's not consensual. In the video, they show the girl going into the room, and then they show an after clip, which is suspected to be filmed on a different day because Dom is like too sweaty. Unless he's the world's sweatiest person, like he's like glistening. He looks like a wrestler who's oiled themselves up before they go out to the ring. I would know, I'm a wrestling stan. And the bed is empty, which like if you just had sex, where did the girls go? Like the girls don't appear in anywhere else in the vlog. And in the article, the girl who came forward, her name is Hannah in the article, which is a pseudonym, basically says that they were feeding her liquor. Her friend who was the DD confirms this, that like while she was drinking of her own accord, in some instances, they were kind of pushing liquor towards her, encouraging her to drink. And then her friend who was in the room also with her during the sex or sexual acts, I should say, because it was not sex, because it was not consensual, said that at one point she was losing consciousness while he was, you know, in her, which is my least favorite term. And he didn't seem to give a fuck. And so her friend basically tagged in just to get him off of her. And the girl has now said that what happened to her was RAPE, because I can't say that word without getting demonetized. And it was because legal definition is that it needs that someone needs to be able to consent, and she was literally blackout drunk, did not remember what happened. Her friend had to tell her multiple times the next day what happened because she was still drunk when she woke up. That's how blackout she was. And David Dobrik posted this video on his channel. So this article came out last like probably 2 days ago. What surprised me was that David actually put up his apology before I saw the article come out. So I think he put up his apology first, because what happens when you're writing an article is the journalist will reach out to her, you know, get her article together, and then she has to reach out to the accused to get their side of the story or get any statements or have them confirm or deny any facts if they have proof that some facts are wrong, etc. So David, Jason, and everyone else in the Vlog Squad has had time to know this article was coming out. Trisha Paytas is quoted in the article, and she said they reached out to her, so she knew it was coming out. And so I think he put this apology out like to try to get in before the article came out, but it's just so tone deaf. It's so fucking ridiculous. It might be the worst apology I've ever read. And the fact that he had time, like it's not like the article came out and he had no time and just had to like figure out something on the fly. He literally had time. He has, I'm sure he can afford a world-class PR team. He had time to craft an apology, and this is the trash he puts up. So I've made down like line by line notes. So we're just gonna go through the apology and talk about why it's trash. So first of all, he starts with the apology Oh, also another preface to this. So that article came out, and the Seth situation basically was that he tricked Seth into making out with Jason Nash when Seth thought it was somebody else, and that is SA. So he starts off the video, this 2-minute apology, which he has, by the way, entitled Let's Talk, and then turned to the comments and the likes and dislikes off. So like, are we talking or are we listening to you talk? Because I don't know if you know what a conversation is, David, but usually two people are talking. Let's talk means let's have a conversation. This isn't a conversation. This is you just trying to get out ahead of it and save face. And also he did upload it on his Views channel, which is his least subscribed channel, his third least subscribed channel. If you were actually sorry, you'd put this shit up on your David Dobrik Vlogs channel, but you didn't because you don't want people to know about it. You're just trying to apologize so that these types of YouTuber apologies are very strategic. They apologize because they know that it's too big for them to ignore any longer, because we all saw with the Scotty Sires situation, he really tried to circumvent that and Scotty got eaten alive and had to delete his video. So David realized at that point that it was too big to ignore. Like Scotty said, normally the Vlog Squad doesn't address stuff like this because they don't want to platform it, aka they don't want their subscribers to know about the drama. So he posted it so basically at this point, what YouTubers do is they post the apology so that when people say, wow, David Dobrik is trash, their stans can say, well, he apologized. It's the same shit Jeffree Star used to always do. He would apologize without saying anything that actually fucking happened. But it's just there so that your stans have something to fall back on and they can be like, oh, well, he apologized. It's fine. But it's not a good apology. And it's not a real apology. So he starts off the video by talking about his social media career and how he's made over 600 videos and he's been on Instagram and TikTok and Vine, etc., etc. And some people may look at that as being braggy, but I think what he's trying to infer here is that like he's made so much content that like this kind of stuff is bound to happen. And like, I don't know what kind of fucked up world you live in, David, but for the rest of us, SA and RAPE don't just happen because you've made so many videos. You encourage this stuff to happen. In the Dom situation, this was content for David's vlog. At the end of the vlog, Dom high fives David and says, thanks, David, for his first threesome. So it's pretty clear that like I heard Kat, the journalist, was on the H3 podcast, and she said when she talks to people about David Dobrik, it's like he's the director and the other people are the actors. I mean, he doesn't pay them like that, but he's the director, therefore everything is his idea. And when you read the article, which I will link down below, and you hear the horrific things that happened, and you see how David edited that into a 4-minute happy-go-lucky vlog is fucked up. And even though he's not the person who committed the crime, he's an accessory. And maybe a mastermind. You know, Charles Manson never killed anybody either, but he was in prison for a long, long time. Just saying. Then he says all he wants to do is make people happy. He says this like 3 times in the video, first of all, which like, are you sure all you want to do isn't make money? Because it sounds like you want to make money. And then he says, but consent is important to me. I always get approval first when I'm filming with people, whether it's friends or strangers, before I post the content. And to that I have to say I call bullshit, because Seth has literally asked you to remove videos, and you didn't do it until all of this blew up. Trisha has said multiple times that she has asked you to not post stuff and you have posted it. That whole Tanda situation wouldn't have happened if you had listened to her. And also, I have to ask, you can say the word consent is important to you, but even if, here's the thing, part of your channel is pranks. You can't get someone's consent for a prank. So even if you pull a prank on someone and then they don't give you consent to post it, you've still done a prank that has traumatized that person. Maybe 10 million people didn't see it, but the traumatization has still happened. Even if Seth had said, don't post that first video, I don't give you consent, it doesn't matter because you still SA'd him, you still traumatized him, the act was still there, even if you didn't post it for millions to see. Like, I don't think you understand how consent works, and you certainly don't understand how consent works because you don't know if those girls in that video consented. You didn't seem to give a fuck about that when you were instructing, allegedly, your people to feed them alcohol when they weren't even of age. And even if they were of age, what the fuck? Then he says, you know, I understand that people can change their mind, and if they ask me to, I always take the content down, which is bullshit. Now, this girl did send a text to Dom, which was traumatic, and she basically tells him that she was assaulted. And Dom's reply to this long-ass text message is, okay, understand, the content's removed. And the only reason that was removed was because David knew, allegedly, I'm assuming here, that David knew that that could be a potential legal issue, so he's deleting evidence. Whereas, but with the Seth situation, Seth asked you to remove the video and you just ignored him. But that's also because, you know, there's a difference between kissing a man and drugging and getting women completely blackout drunk and then having sex with them while they're unconscious, I guess. And then he follows that up by saying that there's some moments where I look back and I'm not okay with the content I've made. Like, there's some things I've done that I'm not proud of, and, like, you know, I've grown and changed. And the whole purpose of this whole fucking statement is to paint himself to look like a good guy. Like, he's like, what is the why are you telling me that? I don't fucking care. That's not what we're talking about, first of all. And it's not pertinent to the situation, but you're throwing that in so that you can say, well, sometimes people ask me to take content down, but a lot of the times I take it down myself because I'm just such a wholesome person that I realize that what I've done is wrong. Like, nobody fucking asked you that. Nobody asked you that. Then he says, in regards to the Seth situation, I'm sorry, Seth. I'm sorry. What? That was your apology to Seth? First of all, Seth has tweeted since then that David did not reach out to him personally before this apology, which means, like, I'm sorry you're not sorry. Because if you were sorry, I understand including the apology publicly. It makes sense. Like, at this point, everything's public. You have to address it publicly. But you should have called Seth first, had a fucking conversation with this man who you traumatized and assaulted, and understand where he's coming from and apologize to him like a man. I don't want to say like a man because like a lady, like a woman. But you didn't do that because you literally aren't sorry. Also, have we noticed that so far we're halfway through this video and David still has not talked about what the fuck happened? He is once again talking in vagueness and saying, like, the Seth situation, so that if people don't know what happened, they won't know. They'll just assume that it was like some little tiff between friends, when in reality Seth was assaulted by Jason. And again, he's doing this on purpose. He's not here's the thing. If you were actually sorry, you would address what you were sorry for. And if you actually believe that what you did caused harm, you would want to educate your audience about why that wasn't okay. Because David has been teaching children who are his audience. I don't know if you saw the Nickelodeon Children's Choice Award up there behind him. But David has been teaching children that it's okay to prank your friends and treat your friends like shit, and that, like, you know, what he did to Seth was just a joke. So he should be now taking this opportunity to educate his audience about why what he did was wrong. The man was like on an anti-bullying tour recently. Like, what the fuck? You can't be sorry if you don't tell me why you're sorry. I am the queen of, like, when me and somebody fight and they apologize to me, I go, for what? Because I don't want your apology if you're not going to tell me why you're sorry. If you're just telling me you're sorry to shut me up, it's not even worth it. Save your breath. You need to say what you're sorry for, or it means fuck all. And that's exactly what David did in this situation. He didn't tell anybody why he was sorry. He didn't explain the situation. He just said, for the Seth situation, I'm sorry. And then just, like, moved on like it was just some little fight they had. When you traumatized this man, forced him to move out of LA because he couldn't take the harassment anymore, and 10 million people saw it. And then also you had your friend, the nicest member of the vlog squad, Scotty Sire, post a video trying to victim blame him and say because he asked for it a third time that he must have been into it, you know, because people don't go back to abusive situations ever. That's not a literal statistic that everyone fucking knows. Also, in Scotty's video, there's a screenshot, there's like a video recording of David scrolling through his texts with Seth, and you can hear David's voice in it, so it's pretty clear that David recorded that, sent it to Seth, and then sent it to Scotty for Scotty to film the video. So, like, you have known about this situation for weeks and you're just now apologizing because it's blown up in your face, not because you're actually sorry. He says he missed the mark with that situation, which is like a weird way to discuss assault, but okay. And then he says, you know, sometimes there's people I film with that I distance myself from because I don't align with them. And he says, like Dom. So at this point, he's just throwing Dom straight under that bus because he doesn't want anything to do with it. And like, while sure, Dom should be pushed under a bus, theoretically speaking, or like not literally. No threats here. David is passing all the blame off to Dom. Like, let's not act like David isn't in the background holding cameras, encouraging all of these things. According to Trisha, David is the one that told his friends to go get them alcohol to loosen them up. So once again, he is just, I literally just filmed a video about how Jaclyn Hill manipulates her audience, and David Dobrik is just doing the same shit by he's like distancing himself from the situation, saying like, I used to associate with myself with these people, but I separated from them because I don't align with their views and what they've done. But like, let's be real. Dom was accused of assault by another YouTuber in 2017. She said that he got on top of her at VidCon, like pinned her hands down and told her to kiss him. And when she said no, he said, what if I can guess your bra size? She said no again, and he stuck his hand down her shirt, touched her bare breast without any consent, and then tried to guess it anyways. And she told him to get off of her multiple times. He didn't do it. Dom had to make an apology video for that, and like, we're just acting like you didn't know anything about these people, because I didn't see any rage when that happened. Like, please stop acting like you weren't involved. Take some fucking accountability for the fact that you put this girl's trauma on the internet and had millions of people watch it, and that you were involved. It's just such a non-apology when you don't address what happened and when you just try to separate yourself from the situation without taking any fucking accountability. He then then he says the disappointed line kills me, because if you watch Scotty Sires' video, he literally said in the video, like, oh, David doesn't even get mad with people, he just gets disappointed, which is like, what is he, my dad? Like, what kind of a fucking statement is that? I've been disappointed by so many of my friends. Like, again, it just puts him on this pedestal like he's holier than thou, and the people around him are just trash. But let me just tell you something. You are a sum of the people that you associate yourself with, and you're not looking so hot right now, David. Then for like the fourth time in the video, he says he just wants to make people happy and inspire people. And I find it's weird that he thinks that his content is inspiring when his content is literally torturing and pranking and like profiting off the trauma of his friends. What are you inspiring here? Like literally, what are you inspiring? Torturing other people? Are you inspiring people to like pull pranks and hurt their friends' feelings? Like, I don't get it, because your content's not inspiring. Not paying your employees, is that supposed to inspire me? I mean, it inspires many business owners. I'm sure Jeff Bezos is very inspired. And then he says, you know, I've learned, and actions speak louder than words. And like, you're right, actions do speak louder than words. They must, when your words are only 2 minutes and 32 seconds long. I've like quadrupled your fucking apology time in this video. Like, you can say that you've changed, and I get that it's a hard thing to prove that you've changed, but it's also pretty clear that your actions do speak louder than words, and your actions today or in that video were that you refused to apologize, you refused to acknowledge what you did was wrong, you refused to educate your audience about assault and consent, and instead you just passed the buck. You just said words that had no meaning, and you just did this apology because it was forced upon you, and you refused to get any critique from it, and that's why you turned your comments off. Like, I'm sorry. No, and like, let me tell you, the internet is roasting David Dobrik for this apology, and it is deserved. People have been begging for him to say something for weeks now. Ever since the Seth thing came out, people have been wanting him to say stuff. And then this bombshell is dropped. This disgusting thing that happened in his vlog while he was present to these poor girls who are victims of his friend and of his vlog. and he just puts up this fucking non-apology. It's such a slap in the face to victims everywhere. It's a slap in the face to the actual real allegations that are against him, and it's just proof that he doesn't think he did anything wrong. He is just trying to save face and hope that he can put out a shitty apology and then sail along like every other large influencer has done before him. Looking at you, James Charles. And you know what? He probably will be able to, because he's just going to continue to throw Dom under the bus. He's removed that video from his channel, and he's just going to act like nothing happened. And I hope that's not what happens, because he needs to take accountability. His victims deserve for him to take accountability and for him to understand truly what happened was wrong, because I don't believe he thinks that what happened was wrong. I don't believe that he is sorry for what happened. Is just sorry he got caught. He's just sorry that this is all catching up to him now. And from what I heard on Kat on the H3 podcast is that this is not her only story about David Dobrik. She has been digging into the Vlog Squad for a while now, and she just said that she knew this girl Hannah's story was so important that she didn't want to put it out with the rest of the stuff she has coming out. She put it out separate because it deserved to stand on its own and deserved not to get buried in other shit, which I totally appreciate, because sexual assault is an issue and what happened to this girl is not okay, and David needs to do more than this fucked up, basic ass, shitty apology that isn't actually an apology. And Seth deserves better too. He needs to go on his fucking channel and do a video about an actual video about consent. He needs to talk to some specialists about consent and take a step back and learn why what he did was so fucking wrong, and how it's just as much his fault as it is Dom's. I'm so over David Dobrik. I literally have never watched David Dobrik in my life, and now I hate him. I cannot believe the shit that's coming out with the Vlog Squad. I cannot believe that this has all just been swept under the rug for so long. In my last video, I said, you know, Creepshow Art compared him to Jake Paul light, and I said he's Shane Dawson light, because Jake Paul was never YouTube's golden boy, but David Dobrik was YouTube's golden boy, and there was all this shit in his content that has been swept under the rug for so long, just like Shane Dawson's, and now it's coming up to catch him, and I hope it catches him like it did Shane Dawson and he gets deplatformed, because I'm fucking done with him. So that was my rant. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below what you guys thought of his apology. Let me know if you had heard about this yet. And let me know if you've ever watched David Dobrik's content or if you support him, because I am over it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.